The Ogre Magnum Opus, which is an in-depth analysis of the film Shrek 2. Shrek is one of the greatest, like, animation movies because it just does not give a shit. You have so many routes to mess up on a sequel. But Shrek 2 did not do that. Shrek 2 took every foundation, everything that makes a great film, put it on its head, put it on a curb, and just freaking stomped the hell out of it and said, you know what, this is my town! I'm about to make the best movie ever! And there's nothing you can do to stop me. Exhibit A. We're gonna start character by character based on their impact, what they bring to the film. I feel like if Prince Charming existed right now, he would shop at Vineyard Vines, he would go to Arby's, he probably has an Apple Watch. Sometimes movies need that douche in order for it to flourish. He's like, thank you, mother. He's like, I'd like the mega meal. He's just such a, I hate him. I hate him. The king is not a villain, but here's the thing. The king is very useless. It's just always like, well, what do I do? What do I do? He ends up redeeming himself in the end, and it's great. Okay, the fairy godmother, she's such an ass in such a good way. She's evil through her words. Playing with everyone like puppets, which is terrifying. Can sing extremely well. She uses all these terrible emotions to string people along instead of violence, which I think is badass. The best character in all of Shrek 2. Puss in Boots is such a goddamn badass. We're talking about a cat that whoops people's ass. Like, that's so cool. That's like painfully cool. That's so awesome. Puss in Boots is such a strong and loyal character. There is a lot of amazing references. It just goes right past you, and it's amazing. In the beginning of the film, Fiona grabs the mermaid, drags her by the tail, literally fucking chucks her like 40 feet in the air. I believe that this was possibly a screw you to Disney, which I think is hilarious. This is in reference to Spider-Man. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie because it's only for like 2 seconds, never explained, and it's just like, sure. There's a show on the TV called Knights, which is like a joke on cops. I don't know if you can see it up there. He's literally taking a pepper mill and grinding it over his eyes, and it's one of the funniest things on the planet. They're not pepper spraying them, they're grinding pepper into their eyes. Exhibit C. This movie is full of so many killer scenes. Tension just keeps building, and upon that tension is some of the best choices of music possible. I want to talk about this scene for a second. The king is constantly just poking at Shrek, saying like, and you guys plan on having kids, you plan on killing them? And he constantly pokes back. He's like, you put your daughter in a tower. Why are you coming after me just because I'm an ogre? Donkey is sitting there in the back just freaking eating soup. He's sitting there just like, what do I do? The chef says bon appetit, and he says Mexican food. My favorite. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. When the king decides that he wants to take out Shrek and goes to the bar to go, and the pirate comes in, plays the first note on the piano with his hook, and he says, I like my town with a little drop of poison. It immediately throws you in that the king should not be here, and it's crazy that he's here. We get this amazing scene with Mr. Puss in Boots. This scene, before she met Shrek, all Fiona wanted was a Prince Charming. Shrek has that feeling that, like, once again, he is an outcast, he does not deserve love, never gonna truly feel like he belongs in the castle, which is a very important moment for Shrek. When Puss in Boots introduces himself, Donkey kicks him in the nuts because they can't catch this dude, and he says, pray for mercy from Puss in Boots. When they first show up, they talk to this guy. You see that little telephone, like the gramophone thing over there? He turns it around, and he's like, we don't even get dental. And then Shrek goes to Donkey, and he goes, they don't even get dental. Guy's just like, yeah, we're underpaid. We don't like this lady either. But when they steal the potion and they start messing with these little guys, and all set to the song, have you ever fallen in love with someone that you shouldn't have fallen in love with? Implying that Shrek is going through all of this turmoil, all of these battles, all of this craziness, just to look a little handsome so that Fiona will stay with him. The scene when Shrek becomes a human and all these girls are fucking horned up on him. Oh, I love it. They're like, we'll fuck you right now. And he's like, I'm good. He's just so uncomfortable because he's been known as ugly his whole life. So the moment he gets the exact opposite and the dude's a handsome motherfucker, everyone's all horned up and like, hey, and he hates that because he likes his privacy. So this is a flip on the script, and this also shows that Shrek is willing to go through all this for Fiona, which is, that's love, baby. That's love. And a fantastic scene when Shrek comes into town and is Mr. Handsome, rides on Donkey, who is now a horse. He comes into town, set to Changes by David Bowie. You gotta give me a sec for this part right here. Let me. I am so excited to talk about what is probably one of the greatest pieces of cinema. This like 10 minutes of film is like, I think about this. I've had dreams about this damn scene. This version of this song is like 4 million times better than the original. It's painful how good this song is. And she gets literally like a choir of like 20 people going, ah, ah. And it's like the coolest thing ever. And she just goes on this ballad. Shrek and Gingy go to the Muffin Man and they literally ask him to make Mongo. Fireballs aren't working. This guy is going nuts. Where he's breaking into our castle. What's next? These guys get milk. They get hot milk. I don't know where they got this milk out of nowhere because they did this extremely fast. They pour milk on Mongo, breaks his limbs. He falls into the water. That always gets me. Anyways, gives them the Puss in Boots stare, the cat face, and then just completely whoops their ass. This is a very, very, very crucial moment. Fairy Godmother's like, I told you, you're not for Fiona. She doesn't want you. And Shrek immediately is like, I'm willing to die for this. I'm willing to do all this for Fiona because I love her. Shrek went through all this change, doing everything in his power to just hold on to Fiona. The Fairy Godmother is like, I've had it. I'm about to wipe you out. Grabs her lightning strike. And this is where the king gets to redeem himself. And he sacrifices himself, which I think is stellar. We come to find out that in the end, the king ended up being a frog. The king and Shrek, they have so much in common. And I think that's great because they begin as villains but end as, allies. And know that they, both don't feel genuine at times. And now they're getting that acceptance, from everyone because, Fiona's like, I love you the way you are, Shrek. Frog, with the queen, I love you the way you are. And everybody's like, it doesn't matter about what we look like. It doesn't matter about, what we've been through. It doesn't matter about what we look like. What matters is that as long as we're still ourselves, love is love, man. And then this goddamn movie finishes with another musical number, which is Livin' La Vida Loca with Antonio Banderas and Eddie Murphy. This movie was so good, we might as well end it on a song. You know what I mean? And like the first Shrek was all supposed to be humor and jokes and just jackass and poop and farts and stuff. But this movie gets surprisingly very sentimental. And we're like, I could see myself in that. I keep on trying to be this person that I know I'm not. And I should just kind of let that go and just be who I am. There is a bonus feature on the DVD called Far Far Away Idol that basically brings literally Simon Cowell, yes, Simon Cowell, American Idol contest with all the characters from Shrek. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. You can find it on the internet. It's called Far Far Away Idol. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. It's very funny, and they cover a lot of funny songs, which is awesome. So yeah, that is my presentation on Shrek 2. This is not going to be the last PowerPoint. I just wanted this first one to be hard about something I care about, which is this movie. I can't believe we did this. That's so funny.